The notion that the mainstream media is working with scientists to lie to Christians is a complex and multifaceted issue. To understand this phenomenon, it is essential to examine the historical context of the relationship between science, media, and religion. The scientific community has long been driven by a pursuit of knowledge and understanding, often leading to discoveries that challenge traditional religious beliefs. The media, on the other hand, plays a crucial role in disseminating scientific information to the general public. In recent years, there has been a growing perception among some Christian communities that the mainstream media and scientific establishment are conspiring to undermine their faith. This perception is fueled by the media's tendency to highlight scientific discoveries that contradict biblical accounts, such as evolution and climate change. Many Christians feel that the media is selectively presenting information that challenges their beliefs, while ignoring or dampening alternative perspectives. One of the primary reasons for this perceived bias is the differing worldviews of scientists and Christians. The scientific community operates on the principles of empiricism and rational inquiry, seeking to understand the natural world through observation and experimentation. In contrast, many Christians approach the world from a faith-based perspective, relying on scripture and divine revelation as the primary sources of knowledge. When scientific discoveries appear to contradict biblical accounts, it can create tension and conflict between these two worldviews. The media's role in exacerbating this tension is multifaceted. On one hand, the media has a responsibility to report on scientific discoveries and advancements, even if they challenge traditional religious beliefs. However, the media also has a tendency to sensationalize and oversimplify complex scientific issues, creating a narrative that pits science against faith. This can be seen in the way that media outlets often frame debates over evolution, climate change, and other scientific issues as a simplistic science vs. religion dichotomy. Moreover, the media's reliance on soundbites and headlines can create a misleading narrative that reinforces the perception of a conspiracy against Christians. For instance, a scientific study that suggests a possible contradiction between the biblical account of creation and the scientific consensus on evolution may be headlined as "Scientists Prove Bible Wrong." Such headlines create a false narrative that scientists are intentionally seeking to undermine Christian beliefs rather than simply presenting their findings based on empirical evidence. Another factor contributing to the perception of a media scientific conspiracy against Christians is the lack of representation of Christian perspectives in the mainstream media. While there are certainly media outlets that cater to Christian audiences, the dominant secular media tends to marginalize or ignore Christian voices on scientific issues. This creates an imbalance in the public discourse, where scientific perspectives are amplified, while Christian perspectives are relegated to the periphery. Finally, it is essential to recognize that the relationship between science, media, and religion is not a zero-sum game, where one side must be pitted against the other. Many scientists are also people of faith, and many Christians are also interested in science and scientific inquiry. By promoting a more nuanced and balanced understanding of the complex relationships between science, media, and religion, we can work towards a more inclusive and respectful public discourse. In conclusion, the notion that the mainstream media is working with scientists to lie to Christians is a complex issue that reflects deeper tensions between science, media, and religion. While there are certainly instances of media bias and sensationalism, it is essential to approach this issue with nuance and balance, recognizing the multiple perspectives and worldviews at play. By promoting a more inclusive and respectful public discourse, we can work towards a greater understanding and appreciation of the complex relationships between science, media, and faith.